Hi, everybody. I wanted to do a quick introduction video on the course outline and setup for you and get that out to you this week for those of you that might be looking at starting a little bit early on coursework and assignments and such. With that said, I'm going to jump in here and kind of give you a rundown. It's going to be pretty similar to where I put all my other materials and information and stuff, but we'll just go through this here with you real quick on that. So, of course, this is the overview page. Online course, going to be kind of similar to the curriculum design course in terms of setup. Every week I will go through and put out here some news and announcements, just kind of sharing again the stuff going on for that week, and put some little videos on there from the things I talk about and record each week, assignments that are due, etc. On that. So this will be the same information that comes to you in the email. Okay. The first thing we'll take a look at quick here will be the syllabus. So I'm going to pop that open that up and share that with you a little bit. Of course, I'm the teacher for this course. This is going to run July 8th technically through the 16th, and that gives you a week off between the fall and the summer classes. Okay, I am 100% sure that I will not be able to take any assignments later than the 16th because that is the last date that we can upload upload grades for that summer semester as they need time to change that over from summer semester to the fall semester, which starts a week later with that. Okay. The textbook that we have is Models of Teaching, 9th edition. What is this course? So a short course description here. Okay. Comprehensive focus on teaching models. You'll become familiar with teaching and learning contexts and identify models that may be used effectively in a given situation. So when you look through the book and when you look through the assignments, there's a focus on different types of instructional models, or I call them also strategies as well. Okay? Things that we as teachers can use in the classroom with our students. Some of these can also be used in an organizational setting to lead, if you had a leadership position, but lead meetings and lead group work, or a variety types of things. So these strategies can go beyond, in my opinion, the classroom component of that as well. Okay. So these are the course objectives that hopefully we'll take a look at. So a lot of them are geared around those teaching models or in teaching strategies, instructional strategies, understand some different strategies, distinguish between methodologies, outcomes, like how you use them, why you would use them in different situations and settings, share understanding of models and teaching and learning. So we'll do this, you'll do this through your evaluation of different models. There's a paper that we're going to do. And then there's also a short little like video YouTube, I shouldn't say YouTube, video presentation, video conversation that I guess that you'll have about either a specific learning model or instructional strategy or several of them. And we'll get to that as we get to the assignments as well. Okay. Become knowledgeable about models of teaching or instructional strategies. This is that present models. That's going to be the video component that I talked about. Develop an understanding of the advanced study of learners and of the learning environment. So there's 5 of them there. Of course, this is an online class. So for technology components, we'll be doing a lot of stuff with technology as you normally have, or as we normally have in all of our classes. Attendance policy is the same. I didn't change this on here, but I will do attendance on Sunday nights. All of the assignments I have due are going to be on that Monday of that following week at midnight. So that gives you the opportunity for some of you that like to work through like Sunday night later. You have some time to do that. So rather than being due at Sunday at midnight, it's Monday at midnight. But please, to be counted for attendance, you just have to be engaged in my SBC or be communicating with me for that week. What does engaged in my SBC mean? You're logged in, you turned in an assignment, whatever that might. Those are the big two pieces of that. I can always check and see whether you've logged in, whether you've been in my SBC or not. So if I don't see any assignments uploaded for that week, or you haven't communicated with me, I'll check that way as well. Okay. Academic honesty, here it talks about plagiarism. I do take your information and run it through, or I shouldn't say information, your writing assignments. I do take them and run them through Turnitin, which is a software program or a program that we can use that looks for like I don't want to say just plagiarism, but it looks to see like where the information you wrote has come from. It looks for AI detection and those types of things. So so I run it through there just to see how you guys are doing with that. If you are interested in using that, we can put that, I can put that on here and you can use that as students as well to check and see what it looks like in terms of when you're doing your writing, how much of it has come from other sources, and did you cite it correctly? Did you use it, appropriately, et cetera? So we're doing for this class. If you want to do that, it might be a good option for you on that. Okay? This class will not be canceled because it is online. Cultural relevancy component. So as we get into the coursework here, you will see that I've got quite a few opportunities, options for instructional strategies for Native American students, Indigenous pedagogy, and some different components there for us to review and take a look at. So there will be quite a bit of cultural relevancy for this course. Here you can see some of the evaluation measures or assignments that we will be using in the semester. The grading scale. Of course, you need an A or a B in the class. And then it goes through here and talks a little bit about our assignments. Their assignments are also in my SBC as well, but we have a research paper on a specific teaching model or instructional model. Some of these, I forgot to take some of these components out. We're not doing an annotated bibliography on that. But if you want to include that, it can include some of the following pieces. You don't have to include that, which again, annotated bibliography, you do not have to do. But if you like to organize your sources that way, that's a great way to do that. If you remember from the first class in the semester, we did an annotated bibliography, probably a couple of them. We just kind of summarized those articles that you were looking at. Anyway, so teaching model research paper or instructional model research paper, the presentation, which technically is not a presentation, but you're making a video of 10 minutes on this information you're researching for your paper. There might be a couple self-assessments. These are not be something that will be graded. You'll make a unit lesson, okay, where you create your own or modify a unit lesson, looking at and using one of the instructional models or strategies that you have taken a look at. Okay? So if you want to connect this back to our curriculum design course and that unit, that curriculum that you looked at, that you assessed, that you modified, changed, or whatever, that would be a great thing to do if you so choose. Okay? Chapter reflections, there's 10 of those that you'll have to do, and we'll get into those in a second here. And then evaluation of instructional models. Again, if you are a student that needs support and you have a physical, emotional, medical, learning disability that can impact your ability to carry out assigned coursework, I am the disabilities coordinator, so please let me know. And we can make sure that we're supporting you appropriately, and I'm making modifications for you that are necessary. Okay? If you have questions on the syllabus, please reach out and let me know on that. Okay, so of course that's located right here. Okay, so as we jump into the coursework, that's really the other piece, main piece that we'll take a look at here. So I've got it again split up into weeks. Okay, and you can see here what is due each week. So you're going to see some similarities these first 3 weeks. Okay, and then we jump into a couple different things. But I want to talk to you and share with you about the chapter reflections here. Okay, so if I click on that. So in this chapter there are 20 in this book there are 20 chapters. Okay, and so it is not realistic in my opinion to cover 20 chapters in 6 weeks, okay? Or whatever, however many weeks we have, 5 weeks, whatever it is. So I'm leaving it open to you guys in terms of which chapters you can reflect on. So I've split it up into like this first week you're looking at 3 chapters. Okay, so as we take a look at the chapters in the book, or if you do the first couple or the first 2 chapters are about like general information about instructional strategies and like learning about students, okay, and how they learn, their capacity to learn, etc. Chapters 3 through 19, 3 through 18 are all about different teaching models or instructional strategies. Okay? Example, direct instruction, mastery learning, explicit learning, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so there is a bunch of them there. And then chapters 19 and 20 are about kind of tying it all together. 20 is about creating curriculum, which we kind of touched on in the last course we had with us a little bit. And then chapter 20, the title is expanding their horizons, right? So like it talks about making discomfort productive, okay, in terms of like learning, and we have to be a little bit uncomfortable, I guess, to learn. It's got to challenge us a little bit, is what it talks about. So it's your option in terms of which chapters you want to do each week. If you want to do chapter 1 and chapter 20, then that would be totally fine. Okay, I'm going to pause this because I'm going to sneeze here. Because I think it might be more beneficial for you to dive into the different chapters of the book based upon what you want to learn more about and to maybe understand more. Okay, so there's 20 chapters in the book. I'm only having you take a look at 10. Does it mean that you need to read each chapter from the beginning to end? I mean, you sure can if you want, but it's not necessary. Okay, I want you to do a reflection on the chapter. Okay, so summarize and reflect on several main points from your selected chapter of the book. Okay, and so then focus. The focus of the papers is on the reflection portion of so what I'm looking at is your reflection portion of the papers. Don't just summarize what the chapter was about. So if you're looking at I'm going to make something up here. Oops, let me find my notes here. If you pick chapter 4, for example, scientific inquiry, okay? So what is that about? Okay, not what is scientific inquiry, but summarize a couple main points in there. So maybe it is some different pieces of scientific inquiry. Maybe they talk specifically about like the first time it was created. So like Aristotle's a big person in scientific inquiry, right? So maybe you talk a little bit about that portion because maybe that is a piece that they spend a lot of time on. Okay? So main again, it might be a little bit of a summarization of some of the main points, but then your reflection. What are you thinking? What is your opinion on that? Okay? Share some of that. Share some of your thoughts about that after you go through and take a look at that. Okay, so as we go through here, so for example, 3 reflections. Okay, so I don't know what a good page length might be, but if you're talking about a page for each chapter, I'm going to say that that's probably okay. Okay, it might be a little shorter, it might be a little longer. It depends upon you as a writer and as you go through what you talk about. Okay. If you need help on it, if you need some more guiding questions, please let me know, and I am sure happy to share them with you. Okay, but this first week, for example, is 3 of them. Each of them will tell you how many reflections each week. Okay, second week is 3. Okay? Third week is only 2 reflections, and the fourth week is 2 reflections as well. And then that's it for the chapter reflections. So 10 chapter reflections, half of the chapters you need to review and take a look at. Okay. The other piece then to take a look at is the evaluation of an instructional model. Okay. So evaluate an instructional model of your choice using the attached rubric and providing a narrative explanation. So these are the chapters in the book that have instructional models in there. Okay? You can see here inductive, scientific inquiry, concept attainments, syntax, memorization, advanced organization, et cetera, et cetera. And so there's quite a few of them within the textbook. Now, you're not limited to that, okay? But there's quite a few of them in there. You can't see I don't know why I can't see that. The rubric is attached here, but I don't know why. Maybe because I'm the instructor and I can't open that, but the rubric is attached and we'll find that here. Actually, we'll just go to this. If you click on this, maybe it'll give it to me. It's not a super long rubric, and it's not a super great rubric in my opinion, but it works and it gives you some guidance on that. I still can't see it. So let's try this. And it's not in this one. Where the heck is it? Sorry. Let's go to the second one because I know I uploaded them. Okay, there it is. I just didn't put it on the first one for whatever reason. Sorry about that. By the time you get this video, it'll be on there. So you can use this rubric. It's just a simple 4-point Likert scale looking at how relevant is the instructional strategy, how efficient is it engaging, is it effective, is it satisfying? So how you're going to do this is in my opinion, is you would take that instructional model, instructional strategy that you're looking at and think about how you would use it in your classroom. Now, some of you probably use many of these strategies in your classroom, so it might be easy for you to evaluate it and take a look at it, and that's fine. If you're not in the classroom, if you're in a different setting, you're going to have to kind of think about how you would potentially use it. Think of a grade, a class that you might use it with, or if you're going to use it within your own organization, how would it work? Hey, you're not maybe thinking about students and the teacher, you're thinking about yourself as maybe somebody who's leading a meeting or in a leadership position. Would it be good for you as the leader, and then for those of you that those people that you're working with, how would that look? And if you have questions on this rubric, please let me know on that. Okay. So back to these assignments in terms of the evaluation of instructional model. Change this here again. You are not necessarily limited to just the instructional models that I have listed here. These are the ones that are in the textbook. So you can choose from just these if you want, okay? But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so there's 6 models that you have to evaluate. Okay, there's lots of information on these ones in the textbook here. Okay, so now these are not the only instructional models, right? So in the resources tab, and I will link them here as well, I have some connections and some resources for different pedagogies and instructional standards, instructional strategies that you can take a look at. Okay, so this one here is a web page, and has some different pedagogies that you could potentially take a look at and use in terms of strategies and models. Okay, place-based learning, for example, is a good model that we can use in our classrooms, okay? Especially working with our Indigenous students in that aspect. Okay, storytelling is another one. Okay, so these resources, these links here, provide a little bit more information and guidance. Right now, there's not going to be as much in information right here as there is in the textbook, but I will provide some more information as we're going along each week. Okay, and so there's a couple of other documents here, or handouts here that we can use as well. So again, shared strategies to support American Indian students. This is kind of interesting. Through ESSER 3 funding, you guys maybe know or maybe don't know that ESSER 3 is some of that COVID funding that all schools got when that stuff came out, and all that money needs to be spent now here by the end of September. Anyway, so looking at some different components here and different categories. It's kind of an interesting piece here. This gives you a guideline as you get down to it here in terms of what this covers. It's connected to students and culture, creating opportunities. I'm going to go over this again in more detail as I bring out the videos each week for you to take a look at. But here's some strategies that you could potentially use. So now these are not these strategies are not as broad as like the inductive method or the scientific inquiry. And they probably even fit into some of those broad instructional strategies or modules, but I think it's important that we take a look at some of these components that we could potentially use in our classroom or even in our organization. Okay? So example, create spaces that positively display indigeneity and reflect the student population. And then as we go down here, it gives us some examples or talks about, I guess, what that looks like. This came from the Montana Department of Education, so they've got some examples in here in terms of like specifically to Montana. Okay? This handout here, or this document here, is through the North Dakota Department of Education. So there are not necessarily North Dakota specific examples, but they do have some resources in here connected to other programs as well. Again, here are different strategies. And so again, direct reading and thinking activity. So in the book, it talks about direct instruction. Okay, so again, there's maybe some overlap a little bit with some of the strategies in these resources and some of the strategies in the books, but that is okay. Okay, so anyway, as we are talking about evaluating and looking at these instructional models and instructional strategies, as I said, you can pick any of these here, or you can pick any of these that are in the resources that I have listed. Or if you have others that you know about, that you have learned about, or you want to learn more about, you can use those as well. So this is pretty wide open in that. So you just got to use the rubric to evaluate, and then provide a written narrative in terms of why you chose the scores you did in that rubric. Okay. There'll be more on that as we go through, but I just wanted to let you know your options that you have, and especially in the first 3 weeks. Okay, I talked a little bit about the unit lesson, okay, but you're creating again a unit, whether you modified it, you create it from scratch if you want, but really using the instructional models, instructional strategy that you have researched, that you have looked at, and focusing on the use of those lessons within that unit based upon your instructional model, your instructional strategy that is going to be taught. So it's not, the concern is not as much about the content in terms of what you're teaching, but it's about those strategies or the strategy. Maybe you've got a couple of them that you're going to use to teach that material. And the next thing is this instructional model presentation. So by this point, you should be well on your way to working up on this research paper. So for this presentation, you're going to give a short little summary of the information, what you're working on, what it's about, and just sharing that information. If you don't want to do it on your research paper topic, you don't have to. That's fine. But it just, in my opinion, makes more sense to connect them together to make sure that you're working through that information. Okay? I'll share some more details on it, but again here, it's 10 minutes in length. I didn't have that in there. Oh yeah, 10 minutes in length. Okay. Talking about the model and information from your paper. Okay, sorry, I'll talk more about that as we get on it in this course. And the last one is the paper, okay, for you to write in that minimum of 4 pages, okay, on one of the teaching models of your choice or instructional strategies of your choice. 3 required resources, and then APA formatting will be used. Okay, so you can include some of this information in here. I've got it kind of laid out in terms of what you can do if you want. You don't have to follow along with any of these, but at least it gives you some guidance in terms of what you need to do in terms of sharing with us what you found out, what you've discovered about that specific instructional strategy. Okay? So that's the coursework stuff. Again, the 16th of August, the last day that you can turn any stuff in. I have had these. I guess I got this one due on Friday, August 16th, but I have the paper due on Monday, August 12th. I want to make sure you guys have time to get it in. I know sometimes we push up to that deadline, so I'm giving you early deadlines in case that happens, so I have time to grade stuff before that due date in case we get a lot of it in at once. Okay, so coursework is there. I shared a little bit in terms of the resources. I will have as we get into these chapter reflections, or as you get into them and you get into the instruction of evaluation models, I've got quite a few number of YouTube videos on different instructional strategies, how they look, what they look like in the classroom, in action, etc. So I'm going to share those with you as soon as I can here, and make sure that you're able to see some of those as they're being used in the classroom. Again, some of these you guys are probably familiar with, but some of them you may not be. So I want to make sure that we have a good example of those for you to take a look at. Okay. Otherwise, that is the class kind of in a nutshell here. So looking at the overview, okay, the news and announcements, you'll see that, of course, the coursework is where we have all of our assignments. Resources, I'll have some PowerPoints in there for you. We'll put the videos in there for each week as well as in the assignments. If you see, so like last class, I put in video week 1. It said that you had to upload something or turn something in, but that's just another place for you to see the video. So hopefully when you see it, and it shows that things are due, there's no grade for it. So it's just another place to share the videos for you each week. Okay? So if you have questions, if you need help with anything, please let me know. I'm more than happy to help. Today is July 2nd, so next Monday, I'll have out again another video for the beginning of this week for you, and we'll share a little bit more information and some more videos on the different instructional models. Okay. All right. Take care. Have a good, safe 4th of July if you are celebrating that.